Part of that story is part of my role as a funder there, is to think about how you actually build partnerships and how you put together a vision with the collective community, whatever that size of partnership looks like, but that there be a willingness for whatever that vision is to change. So in 2001, when we created a vision, we had a pretty clear idea of what we wanted to get to. So I think that vision endures, and so sometimes the mission and vision endures, but the tactical strategies to get there can change. And when you go into a partnership, I think one of the critical elements is trust. That you know these partners well enough that you develop the trust with the community, because there are going to be a lot of bumps in that road. And that road, you're going to hit walls and there's going to be failure. And the important thing isn't that you're going to that there might be failure, because I think any of us in any difficult task we've undertaken, there is failure. We hit the wrong road. The important thing is that you actually have to be able to come back, and you have to be able to pivot pretty quickly and say, okay, that didn't work. But let's not spend our time blaming each other or pointing the finger or saying where we should have spent our resources differently. Let's take from this point in time now what we've learned and how the ecosystem has changed and figure out what the next path is ahead. And I'd say that's my probably most important piece of context. I think I've applied it very much in the work that we did then. You have to be ready for failure. And failure is not a word people are comfortable with. And it's not one that we often admit to. And it's very hard sometimes, particularly in the social space, to identify what the metrics are for making social change as opposed to technical change. So these are all kind of some of the barriers that you have in a partnership. So I think in the early days, it takes a little bit of time to develop the trust. And once you have the trust, then you can go forward and you can hit the roads and you can build the path. But I think that's really critically important. Sometimes we jump into partnerships a little bit too quickly without knowing each other well enough and understanding where we're trying to go. And if we don't have that clarity, I think then it creates different problems down the line, which create more time constraints. So while we're all anxious to solve the problems yesterday, we have to spend a little bit of time community building to make it really happen.